I'm Jenny. Every week I make craft videos for children and families at New Life Church Letchworth, and today I'm making one for you. Your theme at Make Lunch has been the Seaside, so we have a seaside craft that I hope you'll enjoy. You will need a square of paper. I've chosen a brightly coloured piece of paper because it helps me to show you what to do, but you can choose anything you like, or you can just go for a plain white piece of paper. Some scissors, some blue tissue paper, some red tissue paper, and something like a rolled up piece of newspaper to play the game. Let's start by making the fishing net. Take your piece of square paper and you want to fold it corner to corner to make a triangle. With the folded edge at the bottom, you need to fold this corner to this corner. I'm going to fold mine left to right. Now with this folded edge now on this side, you want to take this top corner and fold it down to the bottom corner. Now you want to take this folded edge and you want to fold it so it matches at the bottom. It will look like this. Next, take your scissors and you want to cut off this triangle. You can put these pieces of paper to one side because we don't need those. Now take your scissors and you want to make some cuts into this small triangle. So starting at the folded edge, you want to cut but stop just before you get to the bottom. Then you want to go from the bottom this way and stop just before the folded edge. It will begin to look like this. Keep going until you get to this end. Now carefully unfold your piece of paper. Now take your piece of paper and you want to hold it in the middle and you just want to pull the edges out. And as you can see, you've made a fishing net. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make some fish. Take your tissue paper and you want to cut out 5 red fish and 5 blue fish. Once you've cut out your 5 blue fish and your 5 red fish from the tissue paper, it's time to play the game. Take your rolled up piece of newspaper or your magazine, and what you want to see, if you want to see if you can use your newspaper to see if you can get any of the fish into the net. Oh, look, there we have it, we've caught a red fish. You might want to play this with someone else at home. Somebody chooses to be the red fish and somebody chooses to be the blue fish, and you can see who is the winner. At the seaside, as well as fish, you'd expect to see fishermen. Did you know there are lots of stories in the Bible about Jesus' disciples? Many of them were fishermen. Let's listen to one now.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verses 22 through 33.
Jesus and his friends had reached the end of a long day, and they were exhausted.
Get in the boat. Go ahead to the other side of the lake.
Oh, wait a second. Aren't you coming too?
I must send the crowd home.
Well, all right. Andrew, James, John, let's get a move on.
That very morning, Jesus had received terrible news. His cousin, John the Baptist, had been killed by King Herod. Wishing to be alone, he and the other disciples took the boat and went across the other side of the lake. But people followed, and later that day, Jesus fed more than 5,000 people with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish.
So, bro, is Jesus gonna meet up with us later or what?
He didn't say.
Peter and Andrew and the other disciples climbed into the boat.
Nice breeze.
Yeah, but it's picking up. Should we wait?
Jesus said go, so we go, no?
Yeah, bro.
The disciples set off across the Sea of Galilee, rocked by a gentle wind. Finally, the crowds dispersed. At last, Jesus was alone. He climbed up high on the mountainside and poured out his heart to his Father.
Father.
As evening turned to night and night stretched toward morning, the wind across the lake grew wild. Instead of reaching land, the disciples were tossed back and forth on the rising waves.
We're taking on water!
Bail it out. James and John, you take the stern. Andrew and I have the bow.
The wind and waves continued to pound the small boat. The disciples could barely see through the spray.
Hey, Peter, what's that?
What's what?
I see you too.
See what?
Come back here.
Peter staggered to the back of the boat. Everyone looked out into the gloom to try to figure out what this murky shape was that was coming toward them on the stormy sea.
It's a ghost.
Oh! Help us! We're gonna die!
But even as the men began to panic, the figure called out to them.
Be brave. It is I. Don't be afraid.
Peter fixed his gaze on the figure.
Lord, is it you?
The man came straight toward them, walking on the surging water as if it were a smooth, sandy beach.
If it is you, tell me to come to you on the water.
Come.
Now everyone stared at Peter.
You can't walk on water, bro.
But Jesus can.
Taking a deep breath, Peter grabbed the plunging side of the boat and then threw his legs over the side. Impossibly, he stood up on the water.
Whoa.
This is crazy.
Peter locked his eyes on Jesus, the only solid, stable thing in the storm-tossed sea. He took a step, then another step, and a third step. But at that moment, Peter caught sight of a monstrous wave at the edge of his vision. He turned his gaze toward the monstrous wall that threatened to crush him.
No!
Instantly, Peter lost his footing. The water sucked him down and whipped him around.
Lord, save me!
Immediately, Jesus reached out and grabbed Peter's hand.
Your faith is so small. Why did you doubt me?
Jesus firmly helped Peter back into the boat. Then he got in too. The wind died down and the water became smooth as glass. Jesus' friends sank down in the wet deck of the boat and stared at him in awe.
You really are the Son of God.
Free of the storm, the boat sailed smoothly across the water, guided by a gentle breeze. As day broke, Jesus and his friends landed at Gennesaret. After a night they would never forget.
Thank you so much, Jenny. That was great. I really hope you'll have fun making that and playing that at home. And if you enjoyed that activity and the story, then you can watch the whole session by going to our YouTube channel. You'll find the details right here at the bottom of the screen. When you get there, search up Superstars from July the 11th and you'll find out about some friends of Jesus who were fishermen and how they changed their jobs to spread the good news about God. And there are loads of other sessions that you can watch there. We really hope you'll enjoy them. And if you ever want to join us in person, then you'd be so welcome. The details for that will come at the end of our video. Have a great day, enjoy, and God bless.